Hey guys, it's Rachel with Rachel's Truth. We are in a different setting, right? I promised you guys that I would try to do something different. I love to cook, and I thought how fitting to do a video. I'm actually very hungry. So I guess you would say, a borderline vegan. I was completely vegan before, and then I got pregnant, and then that was kind of destroyed. My toddler is fully vegan. He's over there. He may come into the scene. It's kind of crazy. But I myself have been going back and forth with things, and I'm trying to get back on track. So as I try to get back on track, I decided to do some videos, post it to my YouTube channel, my TikTok, what have you. So here I am. So today I wanted to make some buttered chickpeas. I love chickpeas. It's great protein for vegan plant-based diet. Instead of eating chicken or any other meats to add your protein, right? So right now I'm doing a lot of training and working out and cardio and stuff, and it's very important that I get the protein that I need, right? So that's why I'm going to make some chickpeas. I'm going to also make some blended wild rice just to kind of keep it more healthier. I try to stay away from the white rice. Well, actually, I don't really eat white rice unless I go like to hibachi or something and, they use white rice, right? I usually I'll do like a brown rice. But, the wild rice is pretty good. So I'm going to go over the ingredients. So you have some cashews. The cashews I'm gonna make this into a cream. It's gonna be a cream that's gonna go into the buttergreens. So that's gonna be the first process that we're gonna do. I have some tomato paste, some coconut oil, an onion, some lemon, a can of chickpeas. I'm only gonna make one can. I'm not a huge fan of leftovers. I'm just gonna make one can. I have some garlic. I like to get some fresh garlic, put it in the thing, I can't even think of the name. Put it in the thing to make it diced, and then I put it back into the container so that I always have fresh garlic and I ain't got to sit there chopping it up. So that's a good trick. And then I have my blended wild rice. So the first step, and I wanted to add, right? The reason I love cooking is, it helps with my anxiety. Things like cooking and baking, and I like to write and I like to read and different things like that. It definitely has helped with my anxiety over the years as it has improved. But cooking to me is just I love to cook for people. I love to put a smile on their face and warm their heart. It's just something that I love to do. So it is therapeutic for me. So, on this channel, we talk about trauma and healing. So I'm going to, when I do these videos, try to incorporate that. Anxiety is something that, a lot of people don't like to talk about, just mental health in general. So I'm going to try to incorporate it anytime that I do a video and so on and so forth. So it definitely helps me. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me centered. And it allows me to not stress and think about other things, because now I'm focusing on this dish and I'm trying to perfect it and, just make it flavorful and just full of life. Right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to boil some water. We're going to boil some water. The water we're going to boil is going to be for the cashew cream. Now you can make any kind of type of cream that you want, but I just prefer the cashew cream. So we're just gonna fill out the pot of water, and we're gonna boil 2 cups of cashews. So I'm going to get my measuring cup, which I completely forgot about. I already washed my hands. I don't have a hairnet on when I am cooking and baking and stuff like that for other people. I do have a hairnet on. But I'm cooking for myself. and my little one. So we're just gonna boil some water. I always try to put it on the highest level just to speed things up. And I'm just gonna measure this now just to get this out the way. We have our 2 cups of cashews. And I may not use all this cream for this dish because it's just a small can of chickpeas, but I can, you know, refrigerate it and use it. You know, it can be good for like a week or so, maybe even longer, but it's usually gone before that because I'll find something else to put it in. So we have that. So now we're just going to allow the water to boil. Okay, so the water is done boiling. So we're going to add the cashews to the water. And then I'm just going to give it a little stir. And then I'm just going to allow it to return to a boil. And then after it returns to a boil, we're going to empty out the hot water. And then, well, it's going to boil for like 30 minutes. Then we're going to empty out the hot water. We're going to put it back into the container. And then we're going to fill it up with water. And then we're going to let it sit. So we're just going to let it boil. It has come to a boil. Just let it boil a little longer. Okay, so I lied. So I had it backwards. The cashews we're going to bring to a boil, right? And then once we get it into another pot of water, we're going to let that sit for 30 minutes. So the cashews are finished boiling. They have been brought to a boil. I had some spinach on the side over here. Excuse me. Just want to take it off the heat for my toddler. Gotta make sure he eats his dinner. Okay, so now we're gonna drain the cashews. We're gonna drain it. And just rinse this off real quick. Turn this off. And the reason we don't boil it too long is because we don't want to lose all the nutrients. So we just brought it to a little bit of a boil. And then I'm just gonna get this water out here. Cashews. We're going to fill it back with water. And then this is going to sit for 30 minutes. And it's going to be good because I'll have some extra cashew cream already in the refrigerator, and then I can skip over this process, this step, you know, when I need to make something else. Because you can put cashew cream in just about anything. I put it in vegan mac. I use it as a ricotta for like lasagna, baked ziti. So yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, guys, you know, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Are you vegan, and have you ever tried vegan foods? or you know, just plant-based in general type of foods. And also, like, you know, concerning anxiety, right? Like, what are your thoughts about that? Like, do you suffer from anxiety? Do you know someone who suffers from anxiety? What do you do to help your anxiety? I told you what I do, you know. I like to cook. I like to bake. I like to read, write. I do spoken word. Um, just different things. And another thing that helps me is like being a nurse. When I was actively, you know, seeing patients and stuff, just visiting them and just bringing joy to their lives and being helpful, like it really took the focus off of my problems, my concerns, the things that overwhelmed me and just were in my head, and so on and so forth. So just staying busy, but not so busy that you're not dealing with your mental health, right? So leave a comment, let me know what you think. And I'll be right back after these sit for half an hour. So while the chickpeas are doing what they do, we're gonna cut up an onion. I did put the rice on. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to make rice. The wild rice does take some time to cook. You just mix it together at once. It does take about 45 minutes to cook. So we're just gonna cut up the onion. I like to rinse my onions off in cold water, just so I ain't over here crying for no reason. So we got that. And we're just gonna break these onions down. I like to take that first layer off. I don't know why. It just makes me feel like it's not dirty. Because I am a huge germaphobe. Huge. And sometimes I think it's like related to, you know, anxiety and such, you know, when you have like, when you become like overly a germaphobe and stuff. I think it has definitely something to do with mental health, trauma, because like I was never always like a germaphobe the way I am now. Like I get skeeved out at like the simplest things. So like one of the things that bothers me is like I can't use the same washcloth in different areas of my body. I need multiple washcloths. When I do my dishes, you can't use the same rag as the one that you wipe your countertops off with. No. Just seeing like rust and different things is like it really extreme for me. And it just wasn't always like that, you know. So I do attribute that to like anxiety or whatever. So the rice is boiling, and I did put like a tablespoon of butter in there, and I'm just gonna turn it down to low, and that's gonna cook for 15 minutes. I mean 45 minutes. And we're just gonna change this to 45, 55 to 60. We got 15 more minutes for the chickpeas to sit. Let's do 59. All right, so we're just gonna cut these bad boys up. I like my onions nice and fine. I do love onions. I didn't always love onions. Oh my goodness, when I was a kid. You know, it's true. Like, you know, the things that you hate as a kid, as an adult, you love. Because I did not like onions. Oh my goodness. I would like McDonald's. Oh, no, I don't eat McDonald's now, but when I was a kid, I did work at McDonald's, and I always, no onions, and I'd be so pissed because, you know, they always mess up. They always mess up when I bite into it and it was onion. But now, extra onion me please. Extra onion me please. I love them. I love them. I'm trying to think of anything else that I didn't like as a kid and I love now. Well, one thing that's weird is I loved carrots. I used to eat them like chips. It was crazy. Like, I used to really eat them as chips. And I remember this one time I was dating this guy, right? And he knew that I loved carrots. And he was so nice. He was too nice, actually. He knew that I loved carrots. And you know what he got me? A bag of frozen carrots. I was so confused because it was just like, what am I going to do with frozen carrots? Like, what? It was so weird. But it was a nice gesture. But they're frozen. Super weird. So I would eat them like chips. I was like a little bunny. But the weird thing is I don't really eat them anymore. I really don't. Like, I'll put it on like a salad, but it'll be like shredded or something. But I don't eat them like I did as a teenager. Like, I really did not eat as a teenager. I played basketball and I barely ate. I snacked on carrots and I drank Pepsi and I ate cheese doodles. Cheese doodles look like carrots, right? So weird. Never ate. I was slim. I had a 6-pack for no reason. Those were the days. So that's why I'm training and stuff now. I miss my 6-pack. I want it back for my own personal reasons. For health and, you know, I just want to lose it. But okay, so the onions are chopped. The rice is boiling. We still have some time on the chickpeas, but soon it'll be ready. I'm just gonna rinse. I'm gonna rinse the chickpeas real quick, and then I'll come back when the chickpeas are done. Rinse this off. Actually, I'm gonna preserve, cause I may make some cornbread. I'm gonna preserve the chickpea, the juice. You can use the juice, right? You can use it as an egg replacement in you can use it as an egg replacement when you make the vegetarian. You know, the Jiffy has like it says vegetarian cornbread on it. So you can use this liquid. I forget what they call it. Fava something. I don't know. You can use this liquid as a replacement for egg. So I think I'm going to make some cornbread now that I'm thinking about it. My stomach is growling. So I'm going to preserve that. I'm going to rinse these chickpeas real quick in the strainer. Just going to put it in here. And just rinse them off. Give them a nice little rinse. I usually soak my chickpeas overnight, but because this was like a last minute thing, I used the only can that I have. So, and what's unfortunate is my son doesn't like beans. He doesn't like beans unless they're cooked down really, really a lot, which is not good because then you lose all the nutrients. But I still put it in front of him. That's the thing. I still expose him. I still put it in front of him. Even vegetables. He doesn't like vegetables. And, right, he's a vegan and he doesn't like any of these things. But he's a kid. And, you know, you have your picky eaters. And he's a picky eater. So he prefers potatoes or rice. He likes spicy rice. He likes spicy food. So sometimes I'll try to make things spicy and see if he'll eat it just because it's spicy. It doesn't work all the time. I have yet to get him to eat vegetables and beans consistently. So what I do is if I see he doesn't eat, I will take it off of his plate and I will turn it into like a little smoothie. I'll mix in some strawberries, some bananas. I'll throw in some chia seeds, some hemp seeds. I'll use some coconut water, and then I'll put a plant-based milk in there. He's currently on Ripple milk, so I'll use that. Yeah, and then he drinks it. He drinks it with no problem. So that's what I usually do, but I do try to expose him first because that's the best way. And eventually, over time, as he grows, he'll pick it up. But you can't force it. You just gotta be patient. So my beans are rinsed off, and I still have a little bit time for the I said chickpeas before. I still have a little more time for the cashews. So I will be back. Okay, guys. So the cashews are ready. The rice is done. So we're just gonna drain the water from the rice. Drain the water from the cashews. Do that. So that's drained. We'll take a look-see. Nice and drained. Cool. And now we're going to put 1.5 cups of water into the processor and add the cashews. I'm gonna do it like, I have a small food processor. I need to get a bigger one. So I'm gonna just do half and half and just do it separately. But yeah, if you have a bigger food processor, you just dump all of that in there using some spring water. Let me see if I can move this over. This right here. So we're gonna do 1.5 cup. I'm just gonna do a 1/2 cup first, plus like a little bit extra. Well, no, let's just do a cup. Let's see how much fits in there. I'm gonna do 1/2 cup. So we have 1.5 cups. And now we're gonna just add in the cashews. We will add in the cashews. Well, they might all fit in there. I don't remember. Yeah, we should be good. Remember if I was just making too much or whatever, but okay, so that's done. We put the top on and we will plug this in. We got this warming up. Take that off, and then we're just gonna mix it until it's nice and smooth. As you can see, it's turning into a nice cream. Looking good. Just want to make sure that it's nice and smooth. So that actually should be good. We could probably go a little longer. I'll just do this a little longer. I'm over here making a mess. let that sit for a second, and then I'll continue to blend it. We do have this here. This was like warming up, and it's still hot. It's good. So we're using the coconut. We're using the coconut oil, and we have different spices. I didn't go over that, but you could use really what you want. This has more of an Indian feel to it. So we have pepper, we have coriander, we have some cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne pepper, some ginger, and some garam masala. So I'm going to use that. Instead of using water at the end, typically, for the butter sauce, I'm going to use some vegetable stock instead, just to give it a little bit more flavor. All right, so let's just begin. Hi guys. So we have the pan heated up. We're going to use some coconut oil. It's a little melted already, actually, because it was sitting on the stove. But it'll go back to room temperature and solidify or what have you. So we got the coconut oil in there. I'm going to add in the onions and the garlic. So yeah, I mean, I was talking about earlier about anxiety and how cooking has helped me through the years. So I just wanted to also bring up, like, you know, I've suffered with anxiety for like the majority of my life, right? More so emphasized as an adult, going through different traumas and such. And like I've mentioned before, I do have a book that I'm working on. And you know, that's one of the things that I do talk about. The book, as I mentioned before, is called I Am Royalty: Confronting Trauma and Healing. That's the title for now. I mean, things may change, but that's the theme. You know, just going to be discussing things that's going on in my life. I know I mentioned before that I am a victim of rape, but that's not all I am, right? I'm a victim of rape and molestation and, you know, just loss. You know, my father, he died on my birthday. And that has always been something traumatic for me. And, you know, over the years, I was never able to celebrate my birthday. Like, I just didn't feel comfortable doing it. Just an awkward feeling. I'm so glad that I've healed from that. It took a very long time. Like, it's just within the last 2 years that I actually celebrated my birthday. I really celebrated my birthday this year. My birthday's on February 1st. My lovely husband surprised me with a trip to Puerto Rico. So, I mean, that was the best birthday that I ever had, you know, and just thinking about how, you know, my dad died on my birthday and how, you know, I can remember it like it was yesterday, like how everything went down and how it affected me and how I just completely detached, you know. So we have the onions and the garlic in there. So that's going to cook a little bit. And then we're going to add these spices in. We're going to add some tomato paste. And we're going to get it going. We want to try not to burn the garlic. Just, you know, move it around. But yeah, so, you know, my book does talk about that. It talks about a lot of other things. And, you know, it's tough. You know, the more that I write and the more that I look into things, you know, you have so many people saying, like, it's going to be so difficult for you to write this book, you know, as far as marketing and getting someone to publish it or whatever, if you're going to do the self-publishing route, because, you know, you have to be famous for anyone to really care about a memoir if you're talking about yourself, you know. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just become famous. Like, as if it's that easy, right? But my goal is not to become famous, but I do want to just continue to try to reach people that have gone through what I have gone through to try to help, you know. That is my goal, as trying to become an advocate for rape victims and just being an advocate for mental health, really. And you know, I did become a certified clinical traumatic trauma specialist, and that just helps me to just communicate with people, you know, even on social media, because I have people reaching out to me and asking questions and just, you know, asking for advice and different things. You know, I don't try to tell them everything, because I will lead them back to, you know, therapy, a psychologist, psychiatrist, you know, speaking with their primary doctor and so on and so forth. But, you know, I am a nurse, and there's certain things that I can discuss. But when it gets to a certain point, you know, I like to just remind them and refer them to their primary doctor, or, you know, their therapist or what have you. But yeah, so my book just talks about just so many different things, and you know, my life, and you know, like I said, what I've been through and how I was able to, you know, just heal. It was not easy, you know. It didn't happen overnight. My rape was about 20 years ago, so it did not happen overnight, and it affected me tremendously throughout the years. And I didn't know right away, but as time went on and I grew and I continued in relationships and different things, it was very evident that it was, you know, definitely that, and just, you know, the molestation and so on and so forth. So I am not measuring anything, guys. I don't like, when I do chickpeas, I don't like to measure. I mean, I put a lot of what I want it to taste like, but I don't like to measure. I typically measure it, obviously, with baking. So I finished putting in the spices. I'm gonna hurry up and try to add some other stuff. I put garlic, garam masala, ginger, a little bit of cayenne pepper, garlic, some cumin, pepper, salt, and then once we get closer, I will add, you know, whatever I need to add. So we're gonna add in the cream. I just want to make it a little bit more smoother. So like I was talking about before, you know, I do suffer from panic attacks as well. Well, I was talking about anxiety, but I do suffer from panic attacks as well, and I've suffered from them since I was a kid. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't even know what was happening, and I didn't even bother to. I'm putting in the cashew cream. I didn't even bother. It's not as smooth as I would like it, but I'm just gonna keep going. It'll be fine. So yeah, I never told my mom. I didn't tell her. I just like suffered through it. I would, at night I couldn't sleep, and I would just sit there and lay there all night long. Eventually, that's when I started writing poetry. I wrote poetry to help my anxiety, to help myself sleep. I'm over here writing about love for whatever strange reason, thinking I was in love. So yeah, this is the cream. And even if I have some extra cream with the chickpeas, I can always throw in some more chickpeas the next day, or whatever beans that I want to use, you know. So yeah, so we have this pasty whateverness going on here. And I'm just going to add some vegetable broth in here to thin it out a bit. We got that going. You're probably going to need some more. Yeah, I need some more. So you're just going to put as much as until you get the consistency that you want. And then when it simmers and stuff, it's going to reduce, so you don't have to worry about it being too much or too thin or whatever. It's going to reduce. You want it to be creamy, nice and creamy. It's just definitely healthier. You know, it takes longer to cook this way, but it is so worth it. Your body will thank you. Your body would thank you. Like, because I noticed just eating healthy and doing the things that I'm supposed to do, like, I have so much more energy. So much more energy. It's just amazing. When me and my husband did like a raw diet together, like, I had like tremendous energy. Just the meal plan that we were following, it had something to do with Dr. Sebi. I forget the guy's name Yada, yeah. His name is Yada. He has a raw meal plan and recipes and different things. But I also came up with my own recipes because I like a lot of diversity and creativity, so that I will continue to eat it. Because I don't like eating the same things every day. I really, really don't. So I'm just going to give it a taste. And this can definitely use some more salt. So I'm just going to dump some in here. I didn't put a lot. Before at all. Salt is tricky. So yeah, put some salt in there. I'm going to add some more garlic. I like that garlic flavor in almost everything. And of course, onion. Love the onion flavor. So yeah, panic attacks has been like, oh my goodness, it's been crazy throughout my life. I still get my panic attacks, but the crazy part is I get them when I'm sleeping. Like, they typically come when I'm like overtired, overworked, with the combination of being stressed out. Because being tired and overworked will make you stressed out, right? So I'm like, I'll be sleeping and then I'll wake up already in the panic attack. It's like, it's so weird. And it's really just gotten to a point where I'm just like, okay, like, one day am I gonna like not come out of these panic attacks? Because, you know, as a nurse, I see these people with dementia and so on and so forth, and they're sitting there talking to themselves and reliving stories and stuck, right? Well, that's what it looks like. So that was one of my fears for a long time. But now I've gotten to the point where I pray myself out of them. I'm able to get on my knees and just pray. And eventually it subsides. It actually subsides faster than it used to. As far as since I've started to pray. So we're going to continue to let this simmer. I just wanted to thin it out a little bit more. So we're going to let it simmer. But yeah. Anyone out there suffer from panic attacks? What happens? What do you do? Like, what do you do to get through them? And what do you think brought them on? Like, for me, I contribute it to the rape. I contributed to molestation. I contributed to, you know, the different traumas that I experienced in my lifetime. And I'm only, 35 years old? So I still have a lot of living to do, but I've been through so much for someone who's only 35. So we got it going. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. So I'm just like over here making a mess. Uh-oh. So just stirring it. I'm going to add the beans in and let them cook through. You see, we have a lot of sauce and not a lot of beans. But that's okay, because we can add more beans later. I'm going to probably soak some overnight so that I have some beans. Because I've never frozen them before, but I'm pretty sure I can freeze some. Hopefully I can get Amani, that's my son's name. Hopefully I can get him to eat some somehow, some way. He's very difficult. That's why I'm like, give up. I'll just make him a smoothie. And he is tricked every single time. As long as you make it sweet. And I just use like dates, pitted dates. and sometimes like agave nectar or something, but pitted dates is like the most healthiest way. I use pitted dates, and I'll add in some strawberries, some bananas, and then throw in the beans, throw in some spinach, some kale, whatever, and he tears it up. So yeah, just gonna let this cook a little bit more. Let this cook through. You see that? Yeah. It would be better if a little bit more beans was in here. I don't think I have any more. So yeah, this is it. Buttered beans. So, taste test. It's so good. So good. And the rice complements that. I would just mix it together. Because, you know, wild rice can be a little dry. That's it. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. So, if you want to try it, try it. It's very healthy. Very, very healthier than the alternative of using dairy and other things with high cholesterol and so on and so forth. And you know, making things from scratch, it's just healthier. It just gives you a warm feeling afterwards. When you finish eating, you don't feel full and bloated. You feel like you have energy, and you never want to eat a meal and feel stuffed and full. That's how you know you ate something that you ain't had no business eating. But yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. Are you gonna try it? If you do try it, let me know. And let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Even about anxiety, panic attacks, different things, traumas. What have you gone through in your life? Can you relate to my anxiety? Can you relate to, you know, my panic attacks? What have you done in your life to heal from those things, or, you know, just get through it, you know? Let me know what you do, what you think. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the video if you're not subscribed. Share this video on your social media. Like, comment, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.